Hello students, welcome to Navin Sir Physics classes. So today we are going to discuss about the problems in electricity from NCERT text. Okay, so exercise problems today we are going to complete. Let us see the problems one by one. So show how you would connect three resistors, each of resistance 6 ohm, so that the combination has a resistance of 4 ohm. So here it is trial and error method only. So how many ways we can connect them? Three resistors. So first we can connect them either in series or we can connect them in parallel. We can connect them two in parallel and effective will be with series. Otherwise, two is in series and one with parallel. So these many combinations are possible. So let us check. They are asking in which combination we are going to get 3 ohm, 9 ohm and 4 ohm resistances. Right. So 6, 6, 6. So in series combination Rs is equals to R by N. Therefore 6 by 3. So 2 ohm. So this combination is not preferable. And next 6 and 6 parallel combination. So parallel combination, sorry, so here in Rs n into R, so 6 into 3 18 and here R by n, so 6 by 3 is 2. Now let us take this combination. So 6 and 6. So the effective of these two, for suppose this is R1, R2 and R3. So R12 we can write R by 2, that means 6 by 2, 3. Therefore our aim is to find R123. So R123, R12 plus R3, 6 plus 3, the answer is 9. So that means to get 9 ohm effective resistance, we should select this kind of combination of resistances. Now let us see one more. So 6, 6 and 6. So R1, R2 in series, the effective of R1, R2 in parallel combination. So R12 we can write as 12. R123 we can write R12 into R3 by R12 plus R3. Okay, right, R12 12 into 6 by 12 plus 6, so 72 by 18, 18 fours. To get 4 ohm resistance as effective, we can select this combination. So this is a way of doing this model. If they give different mod, if they give different resistors, to get so and so resistance, we have to approach like this only. Directly we cannot get which combination it is. So how many ways or possibilities are there, that we have to draw as a circuit diagram. Next solve that effective resistance in each combination one by one. You are going to get your resultant answer. Right, next one. A 9 volt of battery is connected in series with 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 and 12 ohm resistance. How much current would flow through the 12 ohm resistor? So combination is given as, so total 5 resistors. So 12 ohm, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, it is connected to a battery of 9 volt. So in which combination? In series combination. In series combination, the current passing through each and every resistor will be same. It may be 12 ohm or 0.5 ohm, whatever it may be in the combination. So through each device, the current will be same. That means if you calculate the net resistance R in series, R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4 plus R5. After calculating this R effective, we are going to find net EMF by net resistance you are going to get. So net EMF is 9, and what about net resistance? 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, 0.9, 0.9, 1.4, 1.4, 12, 13.4 is effective. Therefore, so I is equal to 90 by 134 ampere. You want to simplify further, you can simplify this. Right, next one. When 12 volt battery is connected across an unknown resistor, there is a current of 2.5 milliampere. Find the resistance of the resistor. So V is given 12 volt, current I is given 2.5 milliampere, nothing but 10 power of minus 3 ampere. You can write one point beside. Milli stands for 10 power of minus 3. Micro stands for symbol of micro. This is the symbol of micro. 10 power of minus 6. Nano stands for 10 power of minus 12. Sorry, 10 power of minus 9. And pico stands for 10 power of minus 15. Remember this, it will be useful if the current will be given in terms of microampere, nanoampere, picoampere. We can substitute in the place of micro is given, you can substitute 10 power of minus 6 like that. So they are asking resistance. R is equal to V by I. Substitute, you will get the answer. Next, an electric bulb is rated 220 volt and 100 watts. When it is operate on the power 110 volt, the power consumed by. So what is the rating of the bulb? Rating of the given device 220 volt, 100 watt. I told you in the last lecture. So what is the importance of this rating? By using this rating, we are going to find its resistance. So resistance, how to find? R is equal to V square by P. And one more important point, with the help of this rating we can understand that when the operating voltage is 220, the power consumed by the device will be 100 watt. That means with this operating voltage, this is the operating power of the device. But what we are doing here, we are changing the voltage. Now this is V applied. If it is V applied changes, then automatically power consumed by the device will also changes. They are asking what is the power consumed in the process. So can I write like this? Power consumed is equals to V square by R. With the general formula, power consumed or power V square by R is the formula. So power applied, voltage applied by resistance. So V square. So what is V square? Let us find out first resistance, because here we know resistance. If without resistance we cannot find power consumed, because the applied voltage is given here. So V square 220 square by 100, 484 double 0 by 100. Therefore what is the resistance of this? 484 ohms. Now let us use this 484 ohms in finding the power consumed in the operating voltage is 110. So 110 square by 484. So 110 into 110 by 484. So 11 ones are 11 0, 11 fours are 4, 0 4. So 100 by 25, sorry, 100 by 4, your answer will be 25 watt. So important model, with the help of this given rating, first we should calculate resistance. So then what is the operating voltage? They mentioned in the question. With that operating voltage, what is the power consumed? We should calculate. Next, a hot plate of an electric oven connected to 220 volt line has two resistance coils A and B, each of 24 ohm resistance, which may be used separately in series or in parallel. What are the currents in three cases? So three resistors, nothing but two coils are there. So A and B are two coils are there. So coil A and coil B, each of resistance 24 ohm. This is of 24 ohm, this is of 24 ohm. So they are connecting to 220 volt of source. In case 1, they are connecting that coil separately. One time A is connected, next time B is connected. And in case 2, they connected in series, and in case 3, they connected in parallel. Okay, like this they connected. So it is asking what is the current in the circuit. So this is 24 ohm, 24 ohm, 24 ohm, 24 ohm. So when they are connected separately, the current in the first coil is also equal to current in the second coil. Therefore, I is equals to V by R1 you can take or R2 you can take. So 220 by 24. Simplify this, you will get answer. In coil 1 and coil 2, in both cases the same current is flowing. And what about this one? To find this current in the circuit, we should find out the effective resistance in series. So effective resistance in series 24 plus 24, 48 ohm. So use this 48 ohm here and V value and simplify that. Next, in parallel, 24 by 2, resistance will be 12 ohm. Therefore, I is equals to V by Rp. So use this Rp and V in this. You are going to get the current in three cases. Okay, you simplify. Next, several electric bulbs to be used on a 220 volt electric supply line are rated 10 watt. Rating is given. Operating voltage is 220. When we are operating at this voltage, the power consumed or operating power will be 10 watt. Next, how many lamps that can be connected in parallel with each other across two wires of 220 volt line if maximum allowable current is 5 ampere. So what is the maximum current to be passed through the circuit? 5 ampere is the maximum current. Okay, so I don't know how many bulbs are connected in the circuit. We don't know. Okay, but through all these bulbs the currents has to be 5 ampere. The maximum current in the circuit to be 5 ampere. So current value is known and V value is also known. they're asking how many resistance to be connected, number of bulbs they're asking. So to find number of bulbs, we should know the resistance of each bulb. So from the rating information, we can calculate the resistance. So R is equals to V square by P, we can write, okay, 220 whole square by 10. So 48400 by 10. So 4840 ohms is the resistance of the each bulb. So the bulbs are connected in which combination? Parallel combination. Bulbs are connected in parallel. How many bulbs? I am assuming number of bulbs as n. Therefore, what is the effective resistance in circuit? Effective resistance in the circuit R by N, that means 4840 by N. This is the resistance in the circuit. So now let us use the formula. I is equals to V by Rp. I value is given 5, V value is there 220, Rp value 4840 by N. So this will goes into numerator. So after cross multiplying this is cross multiplying, and this is goes into numerator. So 5 into 4840 equals to 220 into N. So we cancel 0 0, 2 is 11, 4 is 22. Therefore, number of bulbs is to be connected in parallel combination to get maximum current of 5 ampere is 110. Okay, once again, if you want to listen this, rewind and you can go through it. Next one, 2 lamps, one rated 100 watt, 220 volt. Another bulb is 60 watt, 220 volt are connected in parallel to electric main supply. Okay, 100 watt, 220 volt, 60 watt, 220 volt, and again they are connected to a power supply of 220 volt. That means in parallel combination, whatever the applied voltage is there, that will be same on the each device. So operating voltage is balancing with the applied voltage. That's why automatically they will consume 100 watts and 60 watts. This is the advantage of the parallel combination. Next, what current is drawn from the line if the voltage is 220? So current we can find directly. So here power is given, voltage is there. In this, how much current can be taken? I1 is equals to, we know the formula, power is equals to voltage into current, V into I. Therefore, I is equals to, we can write P1 by V1. So P1 220 by 100, 2.2 ampere. And then in this branch, I2, P2 by V2, 220 by 60. So 6, 3 is 18, 4 remains. 4.6, nearly 3.6 ampere. Therefore, net current that will be added. So I is equals to I1 plus I2, 2.2 plus 3.6. So 5.8 ampere passes in the circuit. Simple. So we no need to calculate what is the resistance of the bulb 1, what is the resistance of the bulb 2, and we should calculate 1 by R effective is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Now we are getting the effective resistance. Rp you are going to get, and V is there. Then what is the value of current? So V by Rp. In this way also you are going to get the same answer. If you want, you can try with this model. Right, next one. Compare the power used in 2 ohm resistance in each of the following circuit. So 6 volt battery in series with 1 ohm and 2 ohm resistor. So first connection is what? 1 ohm and 2 ohm connected 6 volt battery, and then 4 volt battery in parallel with 12 ohm and 2 ohm. Now we should compare the power consumed. That's it, no? Power consumed by 2 ohm resistor in both cases we should calculate. So power consumed in series, we can use P equals to I square R. That means we should know the value of the current in the circuit. So current in the circuit I is equals to V by R in series. So 6 by 3, because R1 plus R2 is 3. So 2 ampere is the current. So the same current is flowing through the 1 ohm resistor and 2 ohm resistor. Therefore, power consumed by 1 ohm resistor is I square into R1, 4 into 1, 4 watt. And power consumed by 2 ohm resistor, I square into R2, 4 into 2, 8 watt. Sir, why you are calculating for 1 ohm? So for your idea I am calculating. So if they asked for 1 ohm also, we can do like this. So power consumed by 2 ohm resistor is 8 volt. Next, let us check this. In parallel combination, so this is connected to 4 volt. So if it is connected to 4 volt, across this 12 volt also, 12 ohm also same voltage, this is also same voltage. Now we can get current value. I is equals to V square by R. Okay, so V square, 4 square by 12, 16 by 12, that is 4 by 3. Sorry, power 4 by 3 watt. Next, across this V square by R, so 4 square by 2, 16 by 2, 8 watt. That means power consumed by 2 ohm resistor in both combinations is same. That means P in case 1 is equals to P in case 2, we can write. Next one, an electric heater of resistance 8 ohm draws a current of 15 ampere from the mains 2 hours. Calculate the rate at which heat developed in the heater. Okay, na? So Q equals to I square RT. They are asking rate. Rate nothing but we can calculate power Q by T. So I square RT by T, T get cancelled. So I square into R. Simply the rate of heat developing is nothing but power consumed. So power consumed is equal to I square R. So 15 square into 8. So multiply this, you are going to get your answer in watts. They are asking rate. For suppose instead of asking rate, what is the heat developed across the resistor? If they are asking for heat developed across the resistor, we can go through with formula I square RT. They are asking rate at which the heat, rate nothing but with respect to the time we have to divide that heat developed across the resistor. And next one, two conducting wires of same material and of equal lengths and equal diameters are first connected in series and then parallel in a circuit across the same potential difference. The ratio of heat developed in series and parallel combination. So two conducting wires of equal resistance, they are connected in series. In next case, they are connected in parallel. They are going to ask what is the ratio of heat developed in circuit. First let us find out effective resistance in series is 2R, effective resistance in parallel is R by 2. So because identical resistors only, that's why we are writing R by N, Rp is equals to R by 2. So heat developed in a circuit, Q is equals to I square RT we can use, RQ is equals to V square by R into T also we can use. So if they asked for individual resistors, we can use this formula. But they are asking the net resistance, net heat developed in the combination. If they are asking net developed in the combination, we are going to write this I value in terms of V by R. Therefore, we are going to get V square by RT. That means we can observe here the applied potential is also same in the combination. So simply we can say that heat developed is inversely proportional to resistance. So here heat developed is directly proportional to resistance. Why you are writing heat developed is inversely proportional to resistance? This is in individual resistors are in that circuit only. So when you are comparing this with another circuit, or if you want to find out the net resistance or net heat, we are using this formula. So therefore we are going to write Q series by Q parallel is equals to R parallel by R series. So Q series by Q parallel. Q series resistance is what? 2R. Q parallel R by 2. Sorry, Q series R parallel. Inverse proportion. R by 2 and R series 2R. So R by 4R, RR get cancelled, 1:4. This is the ratio of heat developed Q series and Q parallel. Okay, Q inversely proportional to R only. So Q1 by Q2, Q series Q1 by Q2 R2 by R, correct. So 1:4 is the answer. Next one, the values of current I in a given resistor for the corresponding values of potential difference V across the resistors are given below. So they are going to ask what is the resistance of the device they are asking, I think so. Right. So we should plot a graph. We discussed how to plot a VI graph. So V along y-axis, I along x-axis. So ampere values we can take 0.5, 1, this is 1.5. So let us take the graph somewhat clear. So suppose this is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Along this we will take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Now let us try to plot the graph. So current is 0.5 when voltage is 1.6. So nearly here. Next, voltage is 3.4 and current is 1. Next, current is 2, voltage is 6.7. Next one, 10.2 and 3. For 3, 10.2. Next, 13.2 and 4. So join with free hand. So almost all we are getting a straight line. So to find the resistance, what we will do? Delta V by delta I we can take. So between any 2 points you can take. Any 2 points, you are going to get the same answer. So for suppose I am taking these 2 points. I told you that already slope of the VI graph gives resistance. R equals to delta V by delta I. What is delta V? It is 10.2 minus 6.7. So 10.2 minus 6.7, 5, 3.5 volt. And what about current? Delta I is equals to 1 ampere. Therefore 3.5 by 1, therefore 3.5 ohm. So you can take between any two, between these 2 points you can take, between these 2 points you can take. Almost all you are getting the value close to the 3.5 ohms itself. Okay, this is the way of doing this problem related to the graphical questions based on the Ohm's law. Next, how many 176 ohm resistors in parallel are required to carry 5 ampere on 220 volt line? So same in the last model we discussed in the same session we have the same model. So each resistance is 176. They are asking how many number of resistors to be connected to get the maximum current of 5 ampere for the applied voltage of 220. So which combination? Parallel combination. In parallel combination, effective resistance should be R by L. Therefore I is equals to V by Rp. So I V by R by L. So substitute the values. So 5, 220, 176 into N. So 5 into 176, 220 into N. So simplify this, you will get the number of resistors. And here, so explain the following. So why is the tungsten used almost exclusively for filament of electric lamps? So generally we are selecting tungsten as a filament. So what is the reason behind it? So electric bulb is works on the principle of heating effects of current. So to get the maximum heat, the resistance should be more. So what kind of materials they have more resistance? The alloys have the more resistance. So comparing to pure metals, alloys have more resistance. In the same way, tungsten has more resistance and it has high melting point. Okay now. So because of its high resistance and high melting point, so if it has low melting point, what will happen? For the passage of current less time, the wire is going to be melt. It will not going to work properly for hours together. Okay na? So because of this reason only, the tungsten can be used as a filament in electric lamp. This one we have to write compulsory. So tungsten used as a filament because bulb works on the principle of heating effect of current. So to get the maximum light or to get to maximum heat, the resistance to be maximum. So because of high resistance and high melting point, the tungsten can be selected as a filament in electric lamp. And the second one, so why are the conductors of electric heating devices such as bread toaster, electric iron made of an alloy rather than pure metal? So since alloys have more resistance than pure metals. Okay na? So because of their more resistance, these devices, bread toaster, electric iron, they works on the principle of heating effect of the current. So that's why the alloys can be selected than pure metals. So pure metals have less resistance amount. So when you are mixing that metals with one another, we are going to get a combination of the one other kind of the material. So that are known to be alloys. Next, why is the series arrangement is not used for domestic circuit? So what will happen in series combination when you are connecting them? If one device is failed to work, the rest of the devices will also fail to work. And one more drawback is also there. The device which has the low wattage consumes the more power. Okay now, low wattage device consumes more power. Then what is one more? If one device is failed to work, rest will not work. Next one. So how does the resistance of a wire vary with its area of cross section? So we know that already the dependence of resistance on area of cross section. So resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section. That is, as area of cross section increases, resistance decreases. This is the dependence of resistance on area of cross section. And the last one, why copper and aluminum wires are employed for electrical transmission? So simply, so copper and aluminum are good conductors of electricity. So because of this reason only, and they have less resistance amount. So if there is transmitting the current over long distances, if the wires have maximum resistance, what will happen? The heat developed across the wires will increases. Simply the energy will be wasted. To avoid the waste of energy due to passage of the current across the high resistance material, we are selecting copper and aluminum because there are good conductors of electricity compared to other materials which are available in the same cost. They are somewhat less resistance. So due to its less resistance, how long they will transmit the current, the loss of energy will be less. So these are the reasons for given questions. And one more question also they can be asked. So what is a fuse wire? Okay. So fuse wire, and what kind of material can be suitable for designing fuse wire? A fuse wire is a safety device amount. So a fuse wire is a safety device. If any unwanted fluctuations in the current entering into the houses, so before going to enter into house, so we are using a system like this fuse. So in this a wire is connected like this. When for suppose our house is required a current of 5 amperes. If the current coming from the supply 10 ampere, if it is more than 5 ampere, then what will happen? Our devices will be get damaged. So whatever the devices we are connecting, it may be TV or refrigerator, any item is going to be damaged beyond this current. So to avoid this damage, we are using this fuse wire. So once the 10 amperes of current is entering into the fuse, so immediately it will melt and it will break. If it will break, there is no excess of current is passing into this, and the current will stops entering into the house. So what are the properties of the fuse wire? It should has high resistance and low melting point. So why high resistance? Because when the resistance is more, it can easily get heated, and if it is has high melting point, the maximum current it can stand, it never breaks. So to break it, you should have compulsory the low melting point. So generally we are using tin and lead combination, we are using as a fuse wire. Okay na? So this is the advantage of the fuse wire. Okay, take care, stay safe, bye.